Hi, everyone. I thought we would continue to add on to the person class that we started last week. And then we also had a driver program, or a program we could run and create person objects. So I want to go back to this and maybe add a few more pieces of instance data, like let's add, so we have name, and then we have age. Let's make hair color. And then let's also make eye color. And let's also make height, somebody's height. And we're going to make that as a double. Okay. Now, within our class, we're going to create a couple of what I like to call other methods. For one, we're going to go ahead and create a method that's going to change the person's hair color. So let's go ahead and say change hair color. And we're going to send as a parameter a color. And inside of here, notice one thing that we're doing different is that we're returning a string. So we're going to actually return the color of the hair. So then we have hair color as our, so imagine if somebody went and got their hair colored at the salon. We're going to change the person's hair color, and then we're going to return hair color. So here's one example. Let's also make another let's also make a method called calculate growth. So imagine that somebody had a growth spurt, and we want to calculate how much the person grew. Well, we are keeping track of the height. So within this calculation, within this method, we're going to create a variable, a double variable called growth. And that's going to be equal to this person's current height. So we could say this dot height or height minus their new height. And new height is what we're passing to the method. And what we're going to do is return the amount that they grew, their growth. So let's go ahead and compile these because we added eye color, hair color, and height. And then let's add one more method called, actually, I'm going to go back and just get rid of that eye color. I think this is sufficient, so you can see how this works. So I'm going to go ahead and compile, make sure there's no mistakes. And now I'm going to go back to my driver program, and I'm going to call these new methods. So change hair color and calculate growth. So this is kind of interesting. I think we also should go back and go back to our constructor, and we need to add, actually what we're going to do is we're going to make a second constructor. So this is something called an overloaded constructor, which means we're creating a second version. The only difference between this version and this version is going to be that we have additional parameters for the second one. So we're going to say string HC and double H. And then inside of here, we're going to populate that instance data. And height equals H. So now let's go back, let's compile. Go back to our driver program, and so this is for, I'll just call this week 6. Then we're going to make another person object, Rich equals a new person. And we're going to have his name, Rich Shaver. He's 52. His hair color is bald. No, I'll say blonde. And he is 5.7 in terms of his height. So let's go ahead and compile, because so when we create this other one, we got to make sure in the parameter listing we say string int, string double. So let's go back, string int, string double, compile. Okay, awesome. So now we're going to create a variable called how much grow amount. That sounds good. So we're going to use our person object, rich dot. We're going to call the method that we created below here, calc growth. And we're going to say that he is now 6.1 inches. So now it should calculate the difference between this and this. So let's compile that. And let's put a print statement in to check it. System out, print ln, rich, grew, and then we'll concatenate that with the grow amount. So we should get an amount of 0.4, the difference between those two values. Let's compile and see what happened. Oh, but look, it's negative. So that means I want to go, that's not really what happened. That number should be positive. So I go back to my calculation, and I see that I actually wrote these backwards. It should be the new height we grew in this case. Edit, cut. So this is why it's important to test your code out. So now I'm going to go back to my driver. I'm going to rerun it, and I can see that it worked as it's proper. You're probably wondering why it's not 0.4. When we learn more about formatting output with the printf command, we'll take a look at that. The other one I want to test is change hair color. So let's go ahead and say double new HC equals rich dot, the name of the method was change hair color. It's kind of long, but we'll go with it. And we'll make the hair color brown. And we'll include a print statement so we can check. Rich's new hair color is, and then we'll put in new HC. Okay, very good. So we'll test it. Change hair color. Okay, let's go back. Change hair color. Actually, the mistake I made here is it's right here. The hair color is going to return a string. So I wrote the wrong type here. So I'm just going to write string. And if I compile, Rich's new hair color is brown. And he grew the right amount. Okay, so that should do it for this week. Please make sure you're spending at least an hour a day. Some of you are still pretty far behind, and I'm concerned about that. So let me know if I can help you. If you need help, be pretty specific about what the exact assignment number is, and that'll allow me to help you more promptly. Thanks. Have a great day.